Welcome ladies and gentlemen to Magtrain Breachbound's first unboxing video. Let's see what's in the baggage card today, shall we? Well, today we have my Raging Heroes order for the Toughest Girls in the Galaxy 2, consisting of the Dark Elves, Void Elves, Lust Elves, Space Lust Elves, and Sisters. Now, I've taken out the packing slip, I'm afraid, no chance of seeing my bank details. And inside we should have 3 Drax Riders, which are Cold Ones, 3 Vestal Riders, Old Dark Riders, 5 Blood Vestals, Witch Elves, 5 Crossbow Elves, 5 Harpies, the command group models. These will go with the Harpy Queen from the freebies to give me 6. Varasesh, the Venomous, Medusa. And then for my fiancée, Augusta, the Mother Superior, and 5 Daughters of the Orphanage, the All-Stars Command. So, let's dive right in, see what there is. So first you'll notice that there comes a series of limited edition coasters and bookmarks. So, we have, know what's black, white and red? Guess. A blank back. Possibly my favourite. Guess how much shit I give? None. Boom boom. The ever helpful How to Clean Resin guide, which in that I pledged to their last Kickstarter and found the models did not hold paint at all, were almost impossible to base coat, and any attempts to move the models result in paint flaking off. This is incredibly important. A small guide for building your models. A thank you note. And possibly my favourite, the bookmark that on one side has the angel and the other side has, I believe, the avatar, which is effectively a keeper of secrets for Slaanesh army. So let's now see what's actually within the box. So we peel back to this, and first we have the Drax Riders. So these are the Cold Ones. Now in here there should be 3 of the Cold Ones themselves, and the Riders are separate. The Riders, it's their lances, heads, and I believe shields. Now I won't be taking out all the Cold Ones, but I will try and at least take out one to show everybody. So, just forgive the shaky camera while I try and pull one from the bag. But failing that, we have a tail. Yes, and a lovely panoramic view of Aberdeen in the rain. Who would have thought it was late April, guys? And here we should have the Cold One itself. Now, you'll see here, raptor claws, the bottom and hips of the lady. We'll turn it round. We've got a bit of thigh going on there. Armour plates on top. Slots for the raptor arms, always good. And let's see if we can get any more. Aha! Now we have what we've been looking for. Cold One head. Turn this up so you can see it. Fangs. Looks like they might be blind, these Cold Ones, actually. An arm. So these will plug in to the dimple on the left hand side. Then down here is the right hand arm, which plugs in as normal. And then, I do apologise, these are the lower jaws. Nice sharp teeth, tongues, looks pretty good. Then we have the riders themselves. Now I appreciate that's a bit difficult to see, so we will try maybe more professionally to open the bag, pull them out. So, apologies again, we have female torsos times 2, times 3 in fact. Bit low cut, bit of cleavage being shown there. Small, those look like individual shoulders. Not cool, guys. The shields, nice, bladed, very thin sort of tower shield, well, kite shields I guess. Now here we have very sinister heads, very elegant, very female, but not sort of pouty lips and long flowing hair. Thin elegant legs, looks like they maybe got heels, slight heels, but fully armoured. Always a bit of a change for dark elves. Now this is bent, this lance, as you can see it's going to need dipped in hot water, but that's a long brutal looking lance. Now we've got a separate spoon here that looks like it has the last, the last of the bits, and on that is the other lances. That looks like a separate head with a detachable face. Oh, somebody has been watching too many Malifaux unboxings, it would appear. Nothing like detachable faces and plug-in bits of a character to spice up one's day. So, what have we got next? So, next we have the Dark Riders. Now, with a bit of luck, you'll actually just be able to see these. So you should be able to just about see the horses. I'll try and hold it up. There we go, there's the horses, that's much better. See, I've learned something new already. So the horses have 2 legs built in, the tails are separate. The rider's legs are attached on both sides, and then the last legs you attach yourselves. Now these all go on round bases. It's like people have been getting ready for Age of Sigmar. But there don't appear to be any tags for them, so you might have to try and balance some of these slightly more precarious high-heeled ladies. Now, what have we got here? So, here is the first rider. So, as we can see, she's got the horn, insert jokes yourself, a long spear, and that looks like a cloak. Now, the rider herself, you notice she's hooded, you'll notice that her bra doesn't cover her nipples. Looks like she's been working out a bit, and on the back you can see that the cloak should plug quite neatly into that hole. Let's see if we can find another rider for you. Oh dear, everything's come off this one. You have a single spear. Well, this obviously makes things slightly more spicy later on, but here we go. So, next rider we have, I think she's the standard bearer, no, the champion, sorry. So yeah, again, the half-cut bra, the long spear. She's got a skull in her hand and a sort of samurai-esque back banner, which plugs very neatly, I would assume, into that little square. So then we'll give this a quick shake out. We have another lady, yet again, half-cut bra, and all she appears to have there is a cloak, which means that there's probably an arm skulking somewhere for her other side, or there's going to be an awful lot of tears later on from a very salty Martin. Bags of bases, I take that back. Square bases for the horses, round bases for the cold ones apparently. Not sure how I feel about that, I'll be honest. What have we got next? Next is the crossbows. Now, that does not do them justice, so we'll have to have a closer look, guys, won't we? So we have individual legs, a crossbow which plugs onto its arm, then a separate arm, quivers, that looks like that might be a hand for a knife as well, arm supporting it, nice. Now this is just a normal crossbow unit, not the command, so let's have a look at the bodies, shall we? So, armoured female torsos, 4 of, yep, one's fallen out into the bag. Choice of heads, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So they can either be bareheaded or helmeted. And so thankfully not all of them require the legs to be made in two halves. The rest are in firing positions, not too sort of coitish, none of the infinity, you know, girls standing weak at the knees sort of thing. These girls look like they mean business. Spin them round. Yep, long cloaks down the back. Yep, these ladies are here to stay. Now, this sprue, yeah, you can see a few bits have come off. This does seem to be a recurring issue, I'll be honest. But yet again, there's the legs separate. They just plug quite neatly onto that ball joint there. That should be fine. Not too bad, happy with those. Now, we'll see if you can see her. There we go, the Medusa. That's awesome. I'm not actually going to bother opening her up because you can see her fine. I actually bought this with the intention of using it as Molly for an alternative Malifaux crew, but that's stunning and I would really like to just use that as something. I don't know what, possibly in Frostgrave as an NPC. So we're now onto the Blood Vestals. Now the Blood Vestals already exist in metal and they are stunning. The alternative Witch Elves, half-cut bras, long hair, the whole just look like much better Witch Elves. More like the metal Witch Elves than the new plastic ones, but they've decided to redo them now. Let's have a look what we got. Oh yes, individual legs, torsos, half-cut bra, the classic now large dark elf headpiece, attachable hair, and that is a brutal place to attach the resin tab. That's going to be really obvious. Two glorious looking swords, but they are covered in flash. It's going to have to be trimmed off. I could see these actually being really quite tricky. Now the question is, how much variation is this? In fact, we're going to lay you down here, lady. Let's take a look at the next one, shall we? So, this one, very similar legs, but not quite the same. Similar swords, not quite the same. Heads look very similar. The torso looks pretty much identical. The hair is different, so that one is different in some way. Next up, well, that leg's definitely different. She's just kicking herself in the butt. Torso is twisted the other way. Head very similar. Arms are in a different pose. Hair is different to the first one, not massively, but it is. Next up we have, oh thank god the legs are attached. Two different swords, torso twisting the opposite way to the first two, similar head but a bit different. Less hair than the other one, that's always nice. And last of all, so leg slightly different position to the one we just looked at, torso going the other way. Totally different swords, both behind her, slightly different headpiece, different hair. So 5 different models. Now this is important if you play things like Frostgrave or Modheim smaller scale things where you maybe don't want everybody looking the same when it's 35 Witch Elves in Age of Sigmar or Old Hammer or Wrath of Kings? No, not Wrath of Kings. Mantic's version. Kings of War. Then maybe not as much an issue, but it certainly is if you're playing smaller games, which is what I play. So, Harpy number 1. Now the wings are separate, so we've got the booby torso, leg with lots and lots of tat. Ben would love this, nothing Ben enjoys more than painting up bits of dead model stuck to somebody. Some more hanging down tat, could be a space wolf in disguise. Arms with attachable hands, why. And a plug-in face. Stunning though. Next up we have jumping up, individual legs, hands, arms that spin it round. Yep, here's the page 3 view. So torso, plug-in face, what does that face look like I wonder? That's pretty cool, we like that. Now we've got the first of the sets of the wings. Nice. So the wings will plug into the back, as you can see there, through the hair. Not too bad, the hair is well sculpted, so it looks like it flows around it. Here we go, so this one here, you can see where the wings plug in, so the hair goes down on either side once the thing focuses. Individual legs. This one's got a much bigger face to plug in. Oh, and more to the point, one of this one's hands is modelled on, complete with a skull. But that's one less bit that I have to try and attach later. I think always a bonus. What have we got now? Now there's a lot of cleaning needs done on some of these, but that is awesome. Leaping off a rock. She looks like she's coyly looking over her shoulder. No, she's looking down at a victim. The face. So there doesn't appear to be a lot of variation in the faces so far. That's something I'm noticing, but they are really, really nice. I'm not going to hold it against them. Last of all, ooh, this one's crouching. Oh, we like crouching. Now, this one has a choice of faces. So first we've got the body, yeah. Oh, different details, some fur on the legs, that's nice. Choice of faces. Now that is the most unfortunate placed, what would you call it, a bit of frame into mouth. That looks distinctly dubious. This is not something to view before the watershed, ladies and gents. The rest of the wings are all in here. I'm not going to go through the wings, they all look pretty much identical. So this now takes us on to Augusta. Now this is the fantasy versions of the sisters, and this is the larger lady, I believe. Danielle ordered two. One is the sort of battle standard and the other is the Pope. So, torso and legs, those plug into each other. This looks almost like a Battle for McCrag style plugged together. Old lady, bit larger, but you know, who cares? Awesome looking sword. We'll spin that round. My god, how many fleur-de-lis? Awesome shoulder pads. Ben would have killed to have had this for his custodes a week ago. Banner top, that's stunning. And the banner and the twatting mace of death, TM. Sorry, the hammer to anyone else. So that now just leads us on to the Daughters of the Orphanage, the command group. Now, I'll be honest, despite the fact these are Danielle's, this is the ones I've really been waiting to see more than anything. So what have we got here? Haha, this was going to be kept for last, but no. So, this is the musician. She comes with, I believe, 3 small children hanging off her and a kettle drum that she's enthusiastically beating. So, let's try and get into the bag and see what it looks like. So, first things first, we have her herself. So there's a small child round her, a small child on the shoulder. Front plugs into back. She's hitting the drum with a spoon. And yes, the drum is indeed a large kitchen pot. But in case that just wasn't enough. Oh, isn't he adorable? Screeching and plays down. Bloody children. Glad I was never one. A stand for the pot. Better detail, but can't. Ah, there we go. Struggling to focus a bit. And it looks like the kid comes with a small spoon and, oh my god, a bowl of spilt gruel. Please, miss, can I have some more? Next up, we have the small child on a hobby horse, and I'm not going to take this out, but it comes with a crow on top. The hobby horse itself is absolutely stunning. Never mind the shame of when your lord gets inevitably chipped by that child. Next up, we have one of the daughters. She's svelte, she's sexy, she's got a small sword. There's not really much more to say, actually. If you were playing Mordheim, you could do an awful lot worse and take these as Sisters of Sigmar. I'm telling you that right now. This one is phenomenal. She's carrying a small child, a little baby. She's got a crossbow that you can see there. It's such a simple, such a almost serene model. I really like that. And last of all, we have the champion, I believe. Yes, she's got a Yorick skull. She's got an Italian style sword. She's got a bit of a back banner, I think. We'll try and turn that around. Not actually sure what that is, but it is stunning. So all that remains for me to say is that was my Raging Heroes order. This was our first unboxing. Next time I'll try and guarantee not as much shaky camera, less views out the window, not quite so much hand in the way. Until next time, take care, and hopefully you can join us on the Mag Train fairly soon. Goodbye.